there's no question that that all women faced certain levels of discrimination. But I think that at the time, middle-class white women were coming from a different perspective than women of color, even if we had higher education and so on. I mean, I remember time after time we'd say, oh yeah, well, we would love to be a, quote, housewife and be able to volunteer in the community full time and not have to worry about where the money's coming from. You know, a lot of them were fighting that. You know, they wanted to feel fulfilled on their own and not be the wife of somebody, you know, and we came from backgrounds where, you know, that was not something that either we were familiar with or had that luxury of, you know, not having to work, you know. So it was like a whole other thing, you know. We'd go, oh yeah, we could feel fulfilled, you know. We'd be very fulfilled if somebody paid our rent and, you know, bought the food and, you know, all we had to do was put dinner on the table a few times, you know. It was like, I mean, and I'm being facetious, but it was also genuine in the sense that there were such schisms between what we thought was our level of discrimination and why, the roots of that it was very difficult. And especially, you know, like an African American community where the women have been leaders throughout the centuries, and Native American, some Native American cultures and things where, you know, it's not an issue about, you know, who's in charge or who's earning the money or whatever. So there was that. There was also a very elitist arrogance at the Women's Studies Department at that time. It was very hostile. I remember one time I was supposed to make a presentation about my course, and I really prepared because I knew they would be critical and they would want to know about the academic rigor of, you know, what we were doing in the class and so on. And so I really prepared, and when I got there, they went on and on and on about a course on 17th century French women's literature and ran out of time for my presentation. And that was a typical example of sort of the way in which, you know, we were considered, you know, second class in a lot of ways within the women's movement as well.